Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Pikel with League of Items and the esportsdepartment.com. How's it going? Worlds was, pretty straightforward today, but we also had a couple of very tilting results. Uh, in the video yesterday, I think I said a bunch of times, I'm going to bet all of the dogs. And I did. So I ended up betting. I'll just bring it up on the screen. I had. Oh, my shortest map came in, so that's good. They gave that one back. I don't know if that was from today. That already happened. Detonation Focus Me lost against EDG. That game wasn't very competitive. 100 Thieves lost to T1. That game wasn't very competitive. T1 beat EDG. It was a good game overall. I think T1 played really well. During the cast, somebody was talking about how I think it was not Lyric, Atlas from the LCK. He's probably the worst LCK caster. He was talking about how when EDG doesn't have an early game lead, they just don't look the same. It's like no shit. It's like people give so much credit to these teams, like 25, 30 minutes, the plays that they're making into the game 25, 30 minutes in the game. The game is not decided, but the game is set up by the early game. If you're getting leads in the early game, the game is easier to play. You're going to look better. I just don't know why they have to hype it up like they're accomplishing something extraordinary, when if you watch any game, almost any game of League of Legends, that's what's happening. It's just sometimes they want to talk about it and other times they don't want to talk about it. It's not remarkable in general. Like you shouldn't, meaning you shouldn't make a remark about it because it's not important, but whatever. Detonation Focus Me against 100 Thieves. Detonation Focus Me should have won this game probably 80 to 90% of the time based off of what happened in the game, but they went for some kind of backdoor play that they didn't need to. 100 Thieves punished them. That would have been at plus 225. That was a good line. I would have won. I would have gotten back like 60, $65 or something. So it would have went from like winning $10 on the day or $13. It would have went to winning, 60, high 50s, low 60s, which would have been like a 50% ROI. So I mean that would have been pretty good. Detonation Focus Me wasn't competitive in that T1 match, and then 100 Thieves beat EDG in the last match, which brought everything back for the day. And I wouldn't read too much into 100 Thieves beating EDG. I wouldn't say like, oh man, EDG looked really shaky against 100 Thieves. Did they lose their ability to win? Like, they went 1-2. Yeah, they went 1-2 today. So I mean, I'm sure some people will like freak out about it. And if I freak out about it in one of the next videos, make sure to call me on my shit, because that just shouldn't be something that we care about very much. Let's go to the scoreboards real quick. What is today? Day 6? Nope. Day 5? Wait, no, what's day 6? No, it was day 5. All right. So we got Poppy. This is the kind of thing that we talk about before World starts, is players like Eevee. Players like Eevee don't play champions that are going to create advantages, so they're always playing on the back foot. That's a big disadvantage for DFM. They had a couple of okay matches in the play-in tournament because they were able to play stuff like Urgot, which got banned out. But, now they can't do that. So they were punished by Flandre. Flandre played that lane well because even though you're not going to win as hard as you will in other matchups, you can still win very hard just by creating CS disadvantages, and that's what he did. Jai destroyed Steel. Didn't they had a lot of pressure on the top half of the map just because they were more proactive and played the early game better. It's not that EDG is able to do something that other teams are not able to do. It's just against a team like DFM, if you're like, they're scared shitless of you. So all you have to do is make aggressive movements around the map in the early game, and you're going to be able to carve out some advantage from tempo alone, as long as you're not, mechanically misplaying everything. So the Lissandra is just a classic LeBlanc counter, because sometimes when she goes in, you alter, and she's stuck there, you can blow her up. Viper and Mako were on MF and Rakan, which is it's becoming more popular as a combination. Rakan is a good champion. and people enjoy playing him in general. Nothing else really to say about that. 100 Thieves against T1. This game went from 0 to 100 real quick in the sense that the game didn't seem like it was about to end. They won one team fight. They ended the game. It was pretty clinical from T1, and I know some people were upset about it because of DraftKings and other reasons. But ultimately, that's a sign of a good team, not a bad team. So it might upset you, but that's just not perfect execution, but it's so much more difficult to play that way, and it shows a lot more skill to play that way, in my opinion. Some people might disagree with me. The next match, T1 against EDG. So Kana and Faker had really good games. They were doing a lot of the engaging for the team. Owner, I keep forgetting what people actually call him. Had a good Poppy match. Gumayusi on Aphelios. Aphelios, great champion. It looks like it's not that I was right that there will be a lot of hyper carries, but I think that as time goes on, we'll see the better teams. We'll see teams play it more and more because of the stylistic differences between teams that will allow the slower team to deal with the aggression of the MF lanes or the Jhin lanes or Lucian lanes, and then just outplay them as time goes on. Lucian has looked very strong though, so that is something to watch out for. 100 Thieves against Detonation Focus Me. So Detonation Focus Me should have won this game. Their team composition was fine. They built a big lead in the early game. They just threw it all away. Not much more to say about that. T1 against DFM. We got the Shaco game, but Shaco didn't really do much. T1 gave up some deaths in the early game. I think that DFM was up 2-0 or 4-0, but then T1 just turned it on and ended the game pretty easily. And then 100 Thieves, 21-4. This was kind of a stomp. We had another Viego performance, which was pretty interesting because, there are people saying that Viego is a really bad champion now, but it has such high highs that you can probably still justify playing it, which makes teams like FPX look kind of silly because they should have just continued playing it. Hanwha Life should pick it back up. If it really is that good for their players specifically, they should continue playing it regardless of the general strength of the champion. So we'll see how Viego is treated by the teams the rest of the tournament. Group C. So tomorrow we have 6 matches. We can bet on all of them. Great. PSG against Hanwha Life. PSG against Hanwha Life. So Hanwha Life is 1-2 and lost to PSG earlier. Uh-oh. Let's get the scoreboards out. I do kind of want to see this. Hanwha Life beat Fnatic on day 1. Hanwha Life lost to PSG in this game. Oh, yeah, just another bad Jarvan game. Jesus. Yuumi Talon. They're not getting that again. This was unnecessary as well. Yeah, Morgan hasn't looked great at Worlds, but I don't think the drafts are really helping that much, and they did play around them once or twice, but yeah, maybe I'm wrong about Morgan. I'm not getting off of it yet. I'm not going to get off of it during this tournament, but that might be something to look back and kind of question myself in the future. I think that Morgan is still better than Hanabi, period. I think that Willer and Chovy are better than River and Maple as a combination. I think that Deft and Vista are better than Unified and Kaiwing. I think that this draft was very difficult to play against for Hanwha Life. They had Draven, Jarvan, and Pyke wanting to do stuff in the early game. Then they had Chovy on Azir, who wanted to do stuff in the late game, and they had Camille, who wants to do stuff in the late game. So really not a good combination of champions. Like, if you play aggressive in the early game and Azir helps come down and is a part of dives, then maybe it looks a lot better, but that's just not how they went about it. This line is pretty bad though. Man, I'm gonna end up being on Hanwha Life, but this is the kind of spot where if you said, Pikel, I want to bet on PSG because I want value for my money. I can't blame you for it. It's pretty fair. RNG against Fnatic. I'm not betting on Fnatic with Bean on their team. I'm not going to do that. I think that this is the game that RNG is going to be most incentivized to win. I think they have to win one game, and then they're guaranteed to go through. They might have to win 2. If they win 2, they're guaranteed to go through. If they win 1, they're most likely going through. And the first game was a complete bloodbath. Yeah, I'm taking RNG. Xiaohu's better than Adam. Wei is better than Bwipo, but I do like Bwipo a lot. I think he's a pretty good player. Cryan and Niski are very similar types of players, but Cryan's a better version of Niski. Niski has looked horrible. All of you who say that Niski is good and like the European teams are so good, what's going on with Niski? Why is he playing so bad? Maybe it's because he's playing against better competition. Who knows? Maybe that's it. Gala and Ming against Bean and Hylissang. Gala and Ming are better, and I don't even think Gala's that good. So that's basically that. RNG against PSG. PSG. Can PSG beat RNG? I think they could. And I think that PSG can beat Hanwha Life. Like, if PSG gets out of the group, I wouldn't be completely shocked. I still think that Hanwha Life is going to end up figuring it out. Whoa. PSG RNG. Oh, yeah, this was the Maple on Tryndamere game. Plus 200, I feel like I have to take him. Like, plus 200 is a lot better than plus 120. Kind of like that. I'll probably be on PSG there. Hanabi against Xiaohu. Okay. River against Wei. Maple against Cryan. I really do think that they can exploit I think that they could draft themselves into a spot where they have a good matchup in the mid lane. They're going to be blue side this time. Maybe they have some kind of OP pick. Maybe Yuumi has to get banned out against them. I like if they have already shown that they're willing to play Aphelios, I like the fact that they're going to be playing Aphelios against RNG because RNG has a lot of drafts that are just bad and like over-indexed into the early game. They're bad drafts in general, but RNG just can execute them pretty well, so they're punished less often than they should be. But I think that if they do that against PSG, they can get punished. So probably take PSG at the plus 200. Hanwha Life against Fnatic. I'm not playing Fnatic. RNG against Hanwha Life. I'm playing Hanwha Life at plus 175. Yes, please. And then PSG against Fnatic. If I was going to play Fnatic, this is the game that I would play Fnatic in. I'm gonna take PSG though. So what would that be? Man, I hate being on my computer. So let me just see what these odds look like. I'm gonna make all the bets right now. It's just annoying because they don't recognize that I am in the state of New Jersey right now. Oh, they're not letting me parlay. What the hell? I can't parlay because they're the same games. So I'm going to do Hanwha Life minus 160. I'm going to do Hanwha Life plus 175, PSG plus 200 against RNG. And I have to take an RNG match. So then RNG minus 700. That's plus 182. So I'm gonna bet $10 to win 84. That's fine. And then I'm gonna bet Homolife 20 to win 32. Man, RNG betting 20 to win 2 always feels bad. PSG betting 20 to return 60. Hanmalife betting 20 to win 8. And then Hanmalife against RNG 20 to win 35, returning 55. And then PSG Talon betting 20 to win 888 against Fnatic. So that's basically it. A little shorter than the one yesterday. This slate is not super interesting to me. I think that what I expect to happen is Homolife to wake up and play better. So I think that right now it looks like it's a competitive group because RNG, PSG, and Homolife all can get out. But I think that tomorrow, I think that Homolife is going to look a lot better against Fnatic and against PSG. And if they're able to turn the RNG match, they could easily win the group. I have a bet on them to win the group already. So that's what I'll be rooting for tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.